care. He did a whole lot to a whole lot of people. And now he's paying for it. So all these cats, I guess y'all get y'all visitation rights. Some of y'all can get y'all conjugal visits right with him. I don't give
care. He did a whole lot to a whole lot of people, and now he's paying for it. So all these cats, I guess y'all get y'all visitation rights. Some of y'all can get y'all conjugal visits right with him. I don't give a. The camera rolls, and there it is, the voice we've all been waiting for. Gene Deal, the man who once stood just inches behind the throne, now standing over what's left of it. His words cutting through the noise like a blade. This isn't just an interview. This is a public execution broadcast live for the world to witness and deal. He's not just a witness. He's the prophet who saw this collapse coming years ago. The man who whispered warnings while the empire still glittered. Now, with the dust settling and the gavel dropped, he's finally speaking his truth. His reputation is over, and all his accomplices left him. That line isn't just a quote, it's the drumbeat of this entire saga. The rhythm that's been building for decades, and today it's deafening. The data shows a wide variety of sentences. Weighing all the relevant factors, the court determines that this sentence is 50 months of incarceration. 4 years. 4 years. 5. 4 years. 2 months. 2 months. Yup. Wow. 50 months. We can almost see the courtroom now. The marble floors echoing with the weight of Judge Arun Subramanian's voice as he reads out the sentence. 50 months. 50 months for 2 violations of the Mann Act for the crimes that finally caught up to a man who thought he was untouchable. But let's be real. This wasn't just about transporting women across state lines. This was about power, about control, about a mogul who built an empire on the backs of silence and fear. And when the judge called him a danger at any age, the room must have frozen. Because that's the thing about men like him. They don't just fall, they're pushed. And this time, the push came from the very women he thought he owned. Said that specifically, he said, quote, "A history of good works can't wash away the record." He pointed out, too, that 2 of Diddy's accusers and former girlfriends, Cassie Ventura and a woman who testified under the pseudonym Jane. He talked about their testimony. Specifically, the judge pointing out that after Diddy publicly apologized for the leaked video of him assaulting Cassie, that Diddy assaulted his current girlfriend, Cassie Ventura's testimony still lingers in the air, her voice steady as she described the years of manipulation, the substances, the violence, the way he turned her life into a performance for his amusement. And then there was Jane, the woman whose name we don't know, but whose story we'll never forget. Their words didn't just fill the courtroom. They filled the gaps in a narrative that's been whispered about for years. The beatings, the blackmail, the tapes, the way he'd allegedly pay off witnesses, set up fall guys, and walk away clean. Gene Deal didn't just confirm what we suspected. He laid it all out like a map, pointing to the spots where the bodies were buried. Relevant conduct, the judge called it, a polite way of saying, we know what you did, we just can't charge you for all of it. He got caught with never got charged with and the judge knew that. That's why the judge said relevant conduct. You understand? He got caught with guns in the house with the serial number. The judge knew that. Do you understand? And then came the betrayal. Because when the verdict hit, the rats didn't just jump ship. They started swimming for the horizon. His lawyers, the same ones who once spun his image like gold, were suddenly choking back tears, scrambling for excuses. One called him a civil rights activist, and even Deal had to laugh at that. He got off like a fat rat in a cheese factory, he said. But make no mistake, this was still the end. The jets, the mansions, the red carpets, all of it fading into the background as the mugshot took center stage. The man who once threw parties that cost more than most people's lifetimes was now begging for mercy. His children sobbing in the gallery, his empire crumbling in real time. So he got off like a fat rat in a cheese factory before a dude like Diddy going to jail and spending all that time. You know, I'm not saying it's going to be rough or nothing like that, because his former president of Bad Boy, Kirk Burroughs, went to federal jail. You understand? Lil' Kim was. Here's the part that stings the most. The arrogance, the sheer unshakable belief that he'd walk. Dale told us how Diddy had speaking engagements booked in Miami, like the sentence was just a formality. Like the judge would pat him on the back and send him on his way. And then the judge left the bench, took a break, came back with 50 months. 50 months in a place where the steel beds have no pillows, where the food is rumored to crawl, where the only thing worse than the violence is the silence. Who told him he was getting out? Dale asked. And the question hangs there heavy and unanswered. Because the truth is, no one did, he told himself. And that, more than anything, is what sealed his fate. 4 years, 2 months in prison. Wow, he served a year. He gets some time. He gets 15% credit, so he'd be at 14-ish, 2.5 years. 2 months. So, and then he gets another 15% in the remaining? Oh my God, he's out in 2 years. Yeah, should have stuck with the original guest. I know. Courtroom cleared, but the story didn't end there. Because this wasn't just about the sentence. It was about the unraveling, the way his own children took the stand, their voices trembling as they begged for leniency, as they called him a changed man. Changed after decades of allegations, of lawsuits piling up, of women finally finding the courage to speak. The judge heard them out, but he also heard the victims. He saw the photos of their injuries. He read the letters detailing the trauma. And when he said this was subjugation, it wasn't just a legal term. It was a verdict on a life built on exploitation. Gene Deal's laughter still echoes when he talks about the defense's desperation. The way they threw everything at the wall, charity work, family ties, even the idea that prison might rehabilitate him. Rehabilitation for a man who allegedly incapacitated women, who paid to hide evidence, who turned his inner circle into a rotating door of enablers and scapegoats. The system might not be perfect, but some crimes don't deserve a second chance. They deserve a reckoning. And as Deal put it, God just gonna have to take that off my heart, because this isn't about justice in the abstract. It's about the women who lived it. The ones who testified, the ones who settled, the ones who are still waiting for their day in court. Speaking about all that, so now, if he's doing that, and the judge is saying all the stuff that he did that was wrong, what else? Having security take people, put them up in abandoned buildings and threaten them. The judge had all that information. And then there's the prison itself, MDC Brooklyn, a place so notorious they call it hell on earth. The same walls that held R. Kelly and Ghislaine Maxwell now hold a man who once ruled the music industry. No pillows, no privacy, just steel and concrete and the constant reminder that power is temporary. His lawyers painted a picture of a man who'd inspired others, who'd built programs behind bars, who'd found God in a cell. But inspiration doesn't erase the past. It doesn't bring back the years stolen from his victims. It doesn't undo the fear he instilled, the lives he derailed. The most chilling part? The way his children stood up there defending a father who'd allegedly shown them what it meant to treat women like property. One son even claimed Diddy taught them to treat women like queens. Queens. After everything we've heard, after the tapes, the lawsuits, the whispers of a system that let him operate with impunity for so long, the cognitive dissonance is staggering. But then again, so is the power of a father's influence, even a father like him. And now, as the cell door clangs shut, the questions linger. Will this be the end, or just another act in a story that refuses to stay buried? Because men like him don't just disappear. Their legacies linger in the music, in the headlines, in the lives of the people they left behind. The judge called this a deterrent, a message. But for every woman who finally feels heard, there's another wondering if 50 months is enough, if it's justice or just the cost of doing business.
To me, I never want to see a black man going to jail based on the circumstance, based on the situation, based on he may not have the legal team, because a lot of us get railroaded.
You understand what I'm saying? A lot of us get railroaded. So I don't never want to see no black, yo, that's what these cats gonna be saying. Yo, want to see? Nah, bruh. I fought to keep guys out of jail for 27 years. Gene Deal's voice drops to a whisper when he talks about the old Diddy, the one who would have collapsed under the weight of this moment. But this isn't the old Diddy.